What's up, moviegoers? It's Luke Rollins again, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing the Wonder Woman 1984 movie review. So let's get started. Diana Prince lives quietly among mortals in the vibrant, sleek 1980s, an era excess driven by the pursuit of having it all. Though she comes into her full powers, she maintains a low profile by curating ancient artifacts and only performing heroic acts incognito. But soon, Diana will have to muster all her strength, wisdom, and courage as she finds herself squaring off against Maxwell Lord and the Cheetah, a villainess who possesses superhuman strength and agility. Okay guys, so before we get started, the director of this movie is Patty Jenkins. She's best known for the original Wonder Woman film back in 2017. Okay guys, but that being said, I recently saw this movie about a couple days ago, and I gotta say guys, there were some disappointing things about this movie. There were some good things and there were some bad things about this movie. So I'm going to dig into some of the good things first, because I don't want to hate on this movie. This movie wasn't, completely bad. It wasn't a letdown, though there were major problems that I had with this movie. But we're going to start with some of the good things about this movie that it did well with. Okay, guys, so one of the things that I like about this movie, and something that this movie did, really well with, is the cinematography. The cinematography in this movie feels extremely real and extremely immersive. Whether you go to a movie theater or you watch it on your TV, you get that, immersive vibe, like you're, actually in the movie. One of the things that I really liked about this movie was we get to know more about Diana Prince, known as Wonder Woman. We get a glimpse of what it was like training as an Amazon when she was a little girl. We get to see more of the scenes where it takes place in the Amazons. We get to see how they train to fight. And the cinematography in that, whole fantasy world was just amazing to watch on the screen. The acting by the young Diana was just outstanding. She got into character really well. And that's one thing I like about this movie, is how Patty Jenkins, the director of this movie, added more of that information of Diana's hometown in the Amazons, how she was training to fight. And another thing I like about this movie is this movie does have a good message behind it, and yeah. Now, that being said, this movie, like I said, wasn't completely that well put together. There were some major problems with this movie, and I'm just going to state some of the problems that I had watching this movie. Number one, the CGI and the visual effects were just, I don't know, it was just, it kind of ruined some of the movie. You can definitely tell they added way too much visual effects, CGI, to the point where it almost looks, completely animated. Wonder Woman looks completely animated, which was just a complete disappointment. And yeah. Another thing that this movie lacks the most is the action scenes. If you guys have seen the 2017 version of Wonder Woman, you will know that there's a whole bunch of action sequences and, stuff blowing up and all that. In the sequel of Wonder Woman, we don't really get that much, action sequences. We only get, maybe in the beginning, the middle, and then the end. But it's not like non-stop action sequences. It just like, it's very, slow in the beginning. We get to discover Diana Prince, where she works now. She's an artist. She studies on sculptures and, items, treasures, and I feel like that took up most of the space of this film. Just getting to know, Diana Prince and what she's doing, now that this movie takes place in the 1980s. There's not a lot of action sequences, which kind of ruins the movie, and it's a very big disappointment. One of the things I found most disappointing about this film are the villains. The villains in this film are not as good as you guys would think. The villains aren't, strong. They're not evil. And they're definitely not entertaining compared to if you watch any other superhero films like The Avengers or Avengers Infinity War. We have more intimidating villains like Loki and Thanos. But in this film, the villains just feel kind of dull. We have Pedro Pascal starring as Maxwell Lord, where he's able to make everybody's wishes come true, which doesn't really, yeah. And then we have Kristen Wiig starring as Cheetah, which I was really hoping that Kristen Wiig would be able to pull this off in this movie, but I just feel like she wasn't really right for this film compared to all the other films that she's in, like Bridesmaids and other films. I just don't feel like she was really right for this film. We don't really get to see her, her evil side or her evil character until the middle or the end of the movie. And like I said, guys, there weren't a lot of action sequences, which kind of made these villains seem weak and dull. That being said, the acting in this movie was kind of hilarious to watch. It was extremely cringy. For me, it was extremely cringy. Wonder Woman in this film this is only my opinion, but Wonder Woman in this film isn't as strong as she was in the original film in 2017. Okay, guys, but that being said, this movie was a really big letdown and a big disappointment to watch. This movie, I believe, was supposed to come out maybe like a year or 2 years ago, but then due to COVID, this movie came out later. And I gotta say, guys, this movie was a disappointment. The visual effects weren't that good. The acting wasn't good. It was cringy, and the villains just didn't even stand out. They were weak, and they didn't really get, your attention. They didn't make you want to like them. It just, I don't know. The plot of the story just, I don't know. It was kind of mixed-ish. It kind of was struggling and it fell apart. But this movie does have some good stuff about it. Like the immersive feel that I was talking about in the beginning of the film. And yeah. Alright, guys. But if I'm going to rate this movie, I'm going to give it 4 stars, a C+. This movie can be somewhat entertaining, but then it's a huge disappointment in my opinion. And yeah. Alright, guys. Well, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next movie review. Bye, guys, and have a good day.